January 2026. Manchester United were 48 hours away from making the biggest mistake in their modern history. The papers were ready to print the headline, Mainoo to Napoli. The loan deal was on the table. The flight plans were being drawn up. One of the most gifted midfielders England has produced in 20 years was being packed off to Italy like unwanted luggage. Why? Because a manager decided his system was more important than the talent. Because a rigid tactical setup decided that Kobbie Mainoo, the kid who scored in an FA Cup final at 19, was surplus to requirements. Fast forward 2 weeks. January 17th, 2026. Old Trafford. The Manchester Derby. That same kid is running the show against the best team on the planet. He is destroying and running circles around the midfield of Rodri and Bernardo Silva. He completes 91% of his passes. He breaks the press. He orchestrates a 2-0 win that no one saw coming. So, what changed? How did we go from get him out to build the statue in 14 days? This story is like a crime scene investigation. We need to look at who almost ruined a career, and we need to look at the man who saved it. This is the story of the resurrection of Kobbie Mainoo. Chapter 1. The Prince Who Was Promised. Let's rewind. You need to understand what we lost to understand why the return matters. Think back to May 2024. Wembley Stadium. United versus City. Mainoo is 19. He scores the winner. He isn't just a passenger. He is the pilot. Pundits are calling him the next Seedorf. Rio Ferdinand is losing his mind. The narrative was set. United had found their general for the next decade. The stats backed it up too. In the 23-24 season, United earned 1.4 points per game without him. With him, that jumped to 1.8. The defense stopped leaking goals. The chaos turned into control. He was the antidote to the madness. But football is cruel. Memories are short, and new managers bring new egos. Chapter 2. The Amorim Betrayal. Enter Ruben Amorim, the man with the plan. He arrived with a reputation for high-intensity, structured football. And he brought his favorite toy with him, the 3-4-3. On paper, it looks fine. In reality, for Kobbie Mainoo, it was a prison. Amorim's system relies on a double pivot in midfield. Two guys who act like windshield wipers. Run left, run right. Cover the grass, tackle the winner. It demands runners, not thinkers. It demands destroyers, not creators. Amorim looked at Mainoo and didn't see a controller. He saw a liability. He wanted physical monsters. So he picked Casemiro. He picked Manuel Ugarte. He wanted players who could run through a brick wall, not players who would dismantle the wall brick by brick. This started the era of the midfield bypass. Watch the tapes from late 2025. United center backs have the ball. Do they pass it to Mainoo? No. They pass it wide to the wingback. The wingback passes to the forward. The ball travels in a giant U shape around the pitch. The center of the field, Mainoo's kingdom, becomes a ghost town. Mainoo thrives on touches. He needs the ball to feel the game. Under Ten Hag, he was touching the ball 60, 70 times a game. Under Amorim, he was lucky to get 30 touches. He was starving, and when you starve a playmaker, they die. Chapter 3. The Napoli Ultimatum. The bench became his home. Mainoo played 238 minutes in 12 appearances. Let that sink in for a minute. One of England's Euro 2024 starters was getting garbage time. The media started whispering. Maybe he was a one-season wonder. Maybe the hype was too much. Amorim doubled down. He said he wouldn't play Mainoo unless it was best for the team. He basically told the world that Mainoo didn't fit. This wasn't just a tactical disagreement. This was a devaluation of an asset. Then came the Sharks. Napoli. Antonio Conte smells the blood better than anyone. He saw world-class talent being treated like a reserve player. The calls were made. Mainoo's camp was listening. Who could blame them? The World Cup in 2026 is coming. Mainoo needs play. If United won't play him, someone else would. We were days away from a loan. Imagine the scenes. Kobbie Mainoo lifted the Serie A title while United finished 8th again. It would have been the final nail in the coffin for the club's hierarchy. Chapter 4. The False Down. But the football gods intervened. Amorim was sacked. The 3-4-3 experiment was over. Darren Fletcher took over as caretaker, and his first move was putting that kid back in the team. January 11th, 2026, FA Cup. Brighton at Old Trafford. Mainoo starts. The crowd roars. The savior is back. But real life isn't a movie. Not immediately. He looked rusty. He looked tired. He played 62 minutes. He touched the ball 27 times. He lost possession 3 times in bad areas. United lost 2-1. The critics sharpened their knives again. See, Amorim was right. The kid can't handle it. This was the low point. The wilderness years had taken their toll. His rhythm was gone. His confidence was shot. He needed more than just a spot in the lineup. He needed a structure that understood him. Chapter 5. The Architect Arrives. Enter Michael Carrick, the interim boss, the man who spent a decade dominating United's midfield in silence. He didn't look at Mainoo and see a problem. He looked at Mainoo and saw himself. Carrick didn't bring a rigid system. He brought common sense. He threw the 3-4-3 in the trash. He brought back the 4-2-3-1. But with a twist. Carrick implements a box midfield. When United have the ball, they don't bypass the middle. They overload it. 2 center backs, 2 pivots, Mainoo and Casemiro. They stay close. They invite pressure. This is the key. Amorim feared the press. He wanted to play around it. Carrick invites the press. He wanted to play through it. And who was the best player in the world at playing through pressure? Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo's superpower isn't shooting. It isn't tackling. It's the mini-game. When a defender rushes at him, Mainoo doesn't panic. He waits for the defender to commit. Then he spins. A drop of the shoulder. The defender is gone. The structure is broken, and United are attacking. Carrick unlocked this. He told the fullbacks to invert. He told Bruno Fernandes to push up. He gave Mainoo the keys to the engine room. He said, "Run this team." Chapter 6. The Derby Day Massacre. This brings us back to the hook. January 17th. City are in town. The champions. The ultimate test. The lineup drops. Mainoo starts. Carrick bets the house on the kid. From minute 1, it was different. City tried to press. Usually, United would crumble. Not today. When Rodri steps up, Mainoo spins him. When Bernardo Silva closes in, Mainoo plays a one-touch pass around the corner. Let's look at the data. 90 minutes played, 50 touches, 31 passes completed out of 34. That is 91% completion against the best pressing team in history. He won 6 duels. But the moment that defined the match? The first goal. Watch the build-up. Mainoo gets the ball deep. 3 City players swarm him. Under Amorim, this is a panic clearance. Under Carrick, Mainoo holds up. He draws them in like moths to a flame. Then, zip! A vertical pass to Bruno Fernandes. The City midfield is gone. Bruno turns. Through ball to Bryan Mbeumo. Goal! The assist goes to Bruno. The goal goes to Mbeumo. But the goal belongs to Kobbie Mainoo. He created the space. He broke the lines. He was the architect. Then look at the second goal. Patrick Dorgu scores it, but look at the structure. Mainoo is sitting deep, protecting the back 4. He allows Dorgu to be high up the pitch. He provides the safety net that lets the attackers fly. United win, 2-0. Carrick has done in one game what Amorim couldn't do in 4 months. He trusted the talent to do its job. Chapter 7. The Ugarte Myth. We have to address the elephant in the room. Manuel Ugarte. The man Amorim preferred. The destroyer. There's a section of the fan base that loves a tackle. They see Ugarte running around like a headless chicken and think passion. They see Mainoo jogging and think lazy. This is the passion merchant fallacy. Let's take a look at the reality. Ugarte is a trigger for the opposition. Teams want Ugarte to have the ball. They know he can't pass. They know he panics. Ranked 225th in build-up play. When Ugarte plays, United can't keep the ball. They play basketball. Back and forth. Chaos. Mainoo is the opposite. He's a trap for the opposition. Teams are scared to press him. Because if they miss, they're dead. Carrick understands this. You cannot dominate games in 2026 with a midfielder who can't pass. Mainoo is the superior tactical fit. Not because he runs more, but because he thinks faster. Chapter 8. The Squad Dynamics. The Mainoo effect isn't just about Mainoo. It elevates everyone else. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Under Amorim, Bruno was dropping deep to get the ball because the midfielders couldn't pass. That wastes Bruno. We need him near the box. With Mainoo handling the progression, Bruno stays high. His assists have gone up. He is dangerous again. Look at Casemiro, the old warhorse. He looked finished a few months ago. Now, he looks solid. Why? Because Mainoo does the legwork. Mainoo protects him. They are the perfect partnership. Youth and experience. Legs and brains. And look at the new guys. Patrick Dorgu. His width opens up the center for Mainoo. It feels like an ecosystem, and Mainoo is the sun at the center of it all. So, is Kobbie Mainoo a game changer? The stats say he doesn't score many goals. He doesn't get many assists. If you play fantasy football, maybe you don't pick him. But football isn't played on a spreadsheet. It's played on grass. Without Mainoo, Manchester United are a broken, disjointed team that relies on luck. With Mainoo, they play like a well-oiled machine. They control the tempo. They dictate the play. They beat the champions. The Amorim era proved one thing. You cannot ignore your best technical players. You cannot force square pegs into round holes. United almost lost a generational talent because of stubbornness. They almost sent the future of their midfield to Naples.